So where's the inspiration from this film? I know y'all talked last night about MARWEN Call, the documentary. Is that film what made you feel compelled to tell this story your way, or had you already known about the story beforehand? And then did you always imagine Steve playing Mark?
Yeah, I always imagined Steve playing Mark. Absolutely, he had everything I needed for this character. You know, he's a great comedic actor, a great dramatic actor, the whole package. He was perfect for the part. And you know, yeah, no, absolutely. And
my wife says I'm the whole
He
package.
is a whole package. He's everything you need. One-stop shopping. One-stop shopping with this guy. You know, yeah, the documentary, you know, is the first time I ever came across, you know, the real Mark Hogenkamp story. But it was his story. That was his story as presented through the documentary that I thought was the real inspiration for the movie.
Okay. So Captain Hoagie and Mark are very different. Not just because Mark is a human being and Hoagie's a figure, but how did you approach like being each of those characters separately? How did you separate? And like, was doing all the live action first and then doing all the motion capture at the same time, did that help you kind of differentiate the characters?
Yeah, I think that was helpful. We did exactly that. We shot all the live action and then transferred into a sound stage and did all the motion capture thing. I approached them the same way, actually, in an odd way. I thought a lot about the character of Mark Hogenkamp, the version of him that we're portraying in this film, which is not exactly him, but it's certainly an ode to the type of person he is.
Sure.
And I think a very inspiring individual and kind and generous. And I just figured the alter ego is just that. I think it's what we all aspire to be. I think whether we admit it or not, we all have little alter egos in our head as to, you know, the type of person that we would want to be, the image we would want to project, the power and the self-confidence that we yearn to have at some point in our lives. And so there's a bit of wish fulfillment there to watch this movie, to see this guy who's really battered and damaged from a terrible incident, but he's able to heal himself through this character he creates in this magical world that he photographs. So it's healing through art. It's healing through, you know, it's interesting, you know, because we're talking a lot about healing through art, and he heals through this thing that he's created, but healing in a lot of different ways. He heals emotionally. He heals intellectually, and physically too. Just the mechanics of you know, building this world and posing these dolls and taking the photographs. He gains his dexterity again. So there are a lot of components to why this world was so beneficial for him.
How was bouncing back and forth between like a real heavy drama and kind of the more whimsical world of MARWEN? I guess.
Well, you know, I
editing.
actually think that that's something that we don't see in movies a lot nowadays. Which you know, for some reason, a lot of filmmakers nowadays, if they're doing a drama, they're sort of very reluctant to put any humor in the movie. But I love doing that. I think that, you know, movies can be everything like this one is. You know, it's a very, you know, thought-provoking, emotional story. It's got really funny stuff in it. It's got action in it. It's got visual effects in it. I mean, it's very much a, you know, genre fluid movie.
Has Mark seen the film?
I think he's seeing it this week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did call me after he saw the trailer.
Okay.
And said that he had watched it 12 times in a row. He cried every time. And he was so excited about this world because he kept saying, that's what I was thinking. That's, you know, that's my world. You guys did it. So far so good. He's been really on board and really supportive all the way through too.
Were y'all able to use any of the sets or figures that he had, or did you recreate everything for the film?
Well, he offered
Yeah.
to let us use it, but we unfortunately we have to make so many duplicates of everything that it was just more you know, efficient for us to fabricate everything so we could duplicate it 3 times, 4 times for what we needed it for. But it was sweet of them to offer it. But
Sure.
we sort of built our own, obviously based on very much on
Yeah.
what his town looked
It's
like.
really accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really close to what he created.
Well, how long does it take to take someone and make them into one of those figures?
It takes about 4 to 6 months. Yeah, because it's the sculpting and the painting, and then the thing that took the longest time was building the costumes, the doll costumes. Those took a while.
I did all of the doll costumes. I sewed all of them myself.
You really got into character.
Yeah, I wanted to multitask on this. I did catering, doll costumes, and acting.
So you're a method actor then.
Definitely. Everyone was very appreciative of my handiwork.
So when you approach a film, does the genre define how you prepare for a role or for a film? Like, do you prepare for a drama different than a comedy or different than an action film, or is it kind of, do you prepare for any kind of film the same way?
I don't prepare any differently because I just don't think that characters realize they're in a different type of film. They or they shouldn't. A character shouldn't act like they're in a comedy or shouldn't be aware of the fact they're in a comedy.
Right.
It should all be grounded, because I think the best comedies are the ones where you feel like the characters are immersed in something and are either struggling, but as soon as they indicate that they're in that genre, it kind of takes, at least me, takes me out of it. And I think the same goes for a drama. You know, it's not, oh, I'm in a very serious film. The character doesn't know that. It's just their life. So I tend to approach them in the same way.
Okay.
No, I don't. I never ask my actors where they go to prepare.
Okay.
I don't want to. I kind of don't want to know that. That's their process. My job as a director is just to, if they want to know specifically what their character should be feeling at any given moment, and where they go to get that is their process.
Well, guys, it's been a
Thank
real
you.
pleasure.
Thanks
I
a lot.
appreciate it
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.